Every year, I get super excited for Mab's Drawlloween Club, and every year, I end up freaking myself out at the last minute. It feels like no matter what I try, Drawlloween always stresses me out and makes me really sad. And I don't want to be sad during October. It's my favorite month of the year. The first time I participated in Drawlloween Club was 2015, and even though I finished 3 pieces that I was proud of at the time, I very quickly burned out. Doing any 30-day challenge is rough, of course, but when Mab dropped the list for 2024 at the end of August, I was so stoked to have the chance to get ahead. 2023 was the first year that I actually finished all 31 prompts, and even though I definitely phoned in a couple and I didn't love everything I came up with, it felt so nice to finally have been able to complete the challenge. So I had every hope and intention that this year would be my second time finishing Drawlloween. I started with the first prompt, which was the introduction / if I were a shapeshifter post. Hated it, tried to redo it, hated it some more, moved on to the next 2, struggled with those, hated everything I came up with, and eventually got overwhelmed. So here we are on September 29th, and I do not have a single Drawlloween piece, completed or otherwise. A large part of it is that I always fall into the comparison trap, no matter what I do. I've struggled with perfectionism in my art for my entire life, even though I keep trying to remind myself that practice makes progress, and done is better than perfect, and most importantly, that I don't need to love everything I create. I always end up putting so much unnecessary pressure on myself. So this year, I'm giving myself permission to just not do it. Maybe I'll make some new monster girls, maybe I won't. But what I do want is to get back into a daily drawing practice. It's too easy for me to get home from work and flop, and the more I allow myself to do that, the less time I'm spending on things I love. What I am going to do is be Emoji-tober. She had been asking in her stories for her followers to suggest 3 emojis for her to base a warm-up sketch off of, and her sketchbook spreads always turned out really cute. So this year for October, she decided to make 31 3-emoji prompts, and you can do it in whatever style you want. I like having the room to feel more creative. What are you going to do with a flashlight, a black heart, and a black cat? Actually, I don't know what I'm going to do with a flashlight, a black heart, and a black cat, but I guess I'll figure it out. One of the other factors is that I also don't love every Drawlloween prompt. And I know that part of the challenge is to get out of your comfort zone and do things that you don't necessarily do, draw subjects you don't necessarily like or enjoy. But every time I come across a prompt that I don't like, I feel so deeply uninspired, and it sends me down a spiral of self-doubt, which we struggle with enough as artists. I don't really need more self-inflicted suffering. Thank you so much. One of the recurring prompts from last year to this year is mushroom. And I'm sorry to all of my cottagecore girlies. I don't understand the mushroom thing. I feel the same way about the mushroom trend that I feel about this surge of thematic garden gnomes. I don't get it. If that is what you love, I am so happy for you. But also, can you explain the obsession to me? The other thing is, I feel a lot of pressure to perform. So many of my friends are so talented, and they go above and beyond with photography, set dressing for their Drawlloween pieces. They've got a theme every year. And my reality is, I just don't have the time to sit down every day and make a fully rendered, fully painted, finished piece, and also professionally photograph it. I always put too much pressure on myself, and I have yet to figure out how to not do that. Drawing challenges should be fun. Drawing should be fun. It shouldn't be some weird external, internal competition. And trying to constantly create just doesn't feel good. It's kind of the same vibe as making YouTube videos. Not everything needs to be for content, but the more you kind of blur the line between your personal life and what you portray online, the more you start to feel like making content is your primary goal instead of creating art, which frankly is not something that I want to do. Also, I'm terrible at social media. I don't think I've actually posted anything to my art Instagram since last October, and I should probably change that, but I am going to try something new for October and relax. Not really sure how that's going to go for me. I'll probably be posting once a week to my Instagram and doing like a carousel for the drawing prompts for the week. And I know I'm also not great at giving myself permission to rest, but I really only want to create the things that I am inspired to create. So what do you guys think? Have you ever participated in Drawlloween or Mermaid or any of the other online art challenges? How did you feel about it? Any advice on how to stop freaking myself out and putting on a bunch of unnecessary pressure? I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with me this week. Next week, I will be telling you all about my first watercolor class and showing you all of the pieces that I made. So if that's something you're interested in, I will see you next week. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.